Are those ours now?
I can't remember.
Here's,
what it was
here's,
dedicated.
You know,
We've got some matters pending on it.
yeah, but here we go. Now we're gonna go in the winter. We got a house over there now. The streets isn't done there. There's a binder there still.
what's left of
So
it?
you put a plow on that. Goodbye binder. No, thank you. I mean,
All right,
I
let's-
don't. That's another thing that we gotta talk about here.
Let's wrap this thing up. I mean, obviously, we aren't going, with all the conversations coming on here, there ain't gonna be a decision or recommendation to council. Because
But let's just leave the streets up
let's
there.
hear one more comment from John, and then we're gonna table this to the next committee and discuss it down the line. Meanwhile, everything stays as
Unless I don't like John's comment.
Mr. Force.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe the reason that the city was plowing,
We're still waiting.
I can't remember if it's what street it is, in Ethan Woods, was we were running the snow plow there are two lift stations there. There's a sanitary lift station, there's a storm sewer lift station.
We're stopping.
And I believe we were just running this plow to keep access to those two lift stations, again, because they serve more of a regional area than just that subdivision. As far as the occupants in the home, this will be their first winter there. So I guess we have to figure out what we're going to do with it.
That's my question. Are we gonna put a plow on that? I mean,
So after further, all these conversations that we had, and obviously there's nothing going to be done. It was a lot of good input. Let's take the input that we got. Staff's got the direction. Mr. Pip, well, staff to bring it back to committee. We heard all the concerns through everyone on this council and a legal opinion too. Now it's up to them to discuss this at their staff meeting when the attorney is at the meeting with all the legal opinions to find out what is the best direction to go for this. Jeff?
I agree
wrap
with
it
you,
up.
but the one point of clarity, I'd feel more comfortable bringing this back maybe at a planning session, not the next committee, because you said table to the next committee, so
As long as you guys could work out and bring it back, if it ain't on the next committee, just get it done and bring it back to us. Between the legal questions that were raised here and all the other concerns, what you guys got the message on everyone that made a comment on it. Does anyone else want to make a comment on that? Mr. Pat Bond.
I'll be brief. So as I understand it, then it's status quo until the planning session where you have a broader discussion of what to do. Is that
If
correct?
that's what it's going to take staff to get together, then that's fine. Mr. Woods?
One last, if we could look at how many of those, if we did take them in, I'll use Homestead, is it wide enough to put in a road? Or looking at Sunset, I don't think we could get a road down that street, even an illegal road. So, I mean, some of them probably aren't even doable.
Mr. Force?
I believe on Homestead, they have, there's a 30-foot wide ingress and egress easement for driveway use. So if we wanted more than 30 feet, then we would have to end up taking property on either side of that.
Okay. So that is what we're going to do with that. I don't need to make that a motion, do I? Okay. All right. Let's go on. Report and recommendation, pay request to partial 2 for A-Lamp construction for the Stoneham sidewalk, Stone Street reconstruction not to exceed $369,825.36. That is my motion.
Second.
Question.
Question.
you said the wrong amount. It's 368, not 369.
I'm sorry, 368. Mr. Wood- Mike.
Where do we stand on the punch list for that?
Alderman, the punch list is actually closed on that job. They've gone through their final inspection. They've agreed to final plan quantities. The job has some paperwork left to do, but for all intents and purposes, the job is pretty much done.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So that is my motion. Alderman Roy Wesley.
on the projects, the road projects that are going on now, we're to the point of billing back to the contractor for not finishing on time?
That's not on, that ain't on this agenda, but that will be in future meeting.
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna discuss that next. So, the motion on the floor was to pay A-Lamp. They had nothing to do with that project.
Okay, second?
Oh, we have a second.
Oh.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Items considered future meetings. Again, I would like to bring this right to council Thursday night. Obviously, my concern is our road project that was completed, that they had until December 2nd,
November 2nd.
November 2nd. And in my email I received today or this week, they still have 60 items on a punch list. As I know, we had this discussion before. We gave them till November 2nd to finish this project. Now it's time to start looking at liquidated damage. They still have 60 items not done. Even though they're minor with the sod and that according to the list that I received. It's something that needs to be done. Because how many times we have granted them 2 extensions, and this was the 3rd extension. So I hope that we decide to bring this back to council meeting, because if that's on the list of bills to be paid, I will tell you right now, I will be shooting the list of bills down for next payment for them. So, if it's on the bills for Thursday night, it ain't happening. I'm voting no. Okay, Jeff.
I know that pay request 3 is going to be taken to committee on November 29th. I don't know if the pay request 2 is left over on the last list of, no. No,
Okay.
so there is nothing on the list of bills next week, and pay request 3 is not until November 29th.
Again, but I think we need to discuss it in council about liquidated damage. Okay. Alderman Roy Wesley.
Does it have to be discussed at the city council level? I mean, it's in their contract to start liquidating after December 2nd. I mean,
November 2nd.
no, see, I'm listening
Okay.
to,
I mean, to be honest, I'd prefer to talk with the attorney offline and we could sort it out
Okay.
and talk strategy.
I mean,
That's fine. So that will be,
contract's a contract.
they'll be talking. Roy Oaks engineer plan.
I just want to note that Royal Oaks did have a homeowners association meeting today. I was in attendance, and Alderman Lazar and Alderman Coles were both there. They may still be there at the meeting. We had Baxter and Woodman there explaining the project. We did send out surveys to all the residents, and we were going over those surveys with them and the ins and outs of the project. So we'll have a full report from that meeting in a packet, and stemming from that meeting, then we'll have information when we bring it to the committee.
Okay. Any other items? The other one other item I will add there is I really need to, and on Hemlock there, right by the Park District, there's a sidewalk that goes 3 times around. It goes around the loop, but on Hemlock, it is not done. And I know part of that property is the Park District. Is there a way that we could contact the Park District and maybe during our next CIP project that we look at finishing that sidewalk, because that is one of the busiest parks, and that we make it a safety loop completely around? I mean, it's probably 100 feet of sidewalks, maybe 200 feet of sidewalks, as a safety concern.
Yeah, I can certainly talk to their executive director, and we'll take care of that.
Okay. Mr. Woods?
Yeah, one thing, can we have, I know Jeff and I touched base on this, but can we have the engineer look at the intersection of Elizabeth Drive and Wooddale Road? The standing, ponding water issue over there.
Yeah, there was a resident that called, and we're already actually working on that, so we'll get you a report. We've got some preliminary findings already, but we'll probably have something concrete in the next week or so.
Yeah, like I say, I know we talked, but that's been going on for a while. And I think it was the same issue before they did the road too.
Okay. No problem. Alderman Roy Wesley.
Jeff, for the time being, could we get just some gravel in that hole there until we come up with something on it?
Yeah, I don't think that'd be an issue. I'll talk to the engineers offline, and like I said, we've got some preliminary findings, we've got some preliminary solutions, but in the interim, we could look at
Because
something
I'm
like
ready to
that.
lose my Honda Civic in there. If you could.
You got to get a
put
bigger
some-
car.
Right.
Okay. I will obtain a motion to adjourn if there's any other items. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.